Hello everyone, welcome back to the third class of Civics. And before going to that, we'll be discussing a few answers of our geography, which we did the last class. So the first would be desert with sand dunes and forest. Like the deserts were on the left hand side and the forest was on the right hand side. And the second one, the settlement types. First would be dispersed, second nucleated, third radial, fourth linear. The third, the cardinal, would be southwest, and fourth, what were the things which were there? Temple, Kshetri, and you can say municipal office. Okay, so Rajya Sabha or the Council of States. We had discussed earlier itself, like the Council of States is what the members are representing the states and union territories, and they are elected by whom? The MLAs, the state legislative assembly members, the members of legislative assemblies. The election which is done by proportional representation, and it follows the process of single transferable vote. Out of the 250 members, 238 are what elected and the rest 12 are nominated. As per the nomination, President of India, he or she is the one who nominates the 12 members. They have to be expert in their fields. They have to be experienced, knowledgeable people. They can come from the world of literature, science, art, social service. Now, for the seats which are divided, they are not divided equally. Number of members coming from Uttar Pradesh will be 31, whereas for Sikkim it will be 1. Because the population of Uttar Pradesh we know is very high. According to the population, Uttar Pradesh will have higher number of members, that is 31, and Sikkim, being the least number of people, will have 1. Now, for the union territories, not all union territories can send their people. There are only 3 from which we can get, that's Delhi, Puducherry, and Jammu Kashmir. The article which speaks about the composition of Rajya Sabha is Article 80. This is a bit crucial if you are interested in giving higher exams. With that, the number of members right now, the present strength is 245. So, as a whole, 250 members, out of which right now we have 245, and we follow the single transferable vote. The MLAs, the members of the Legislative Assembly, will be the one who will be electing, and being the upper house, it can never be dissolved. To become a member of Rajya Sabha, there are few qualifications a person should have. And these qualifications are mentioned where? In our Article 84. First, being citizen of India. A person who is living in India can actually understand the problem of India. Someone who is living in Canada cannot say what's happening in India and how the thing should be done. So, a person should be an Indian living in India, I mean, having a citizenship of India. Second, being the minimum age of 30 years. A person should have completed 30 years. Someone who is younger than 30 years can never qualify to become a member of Rajya Sabha. Third, there are few qualifications prescribed by the Parliament. For example, it can be upon their knowledge, experience, or expertise in their field of law, administration, public affairs, something like that. And these are decided by whom? The Parliament. Now, the fourth is electoral roll, that is, a person can be member of any constituency of India. Like the person can be a part of any electoral roll. The person living in Nagaland can contest to become a member of Rajya Sabha from that of Kerala. That is what the fourth point explains. If you remember, we had done the minimum age in Lok Sabha, that was of 25 years. So 25 was for what? Our Lok Sabha, and 30 is for what? Our Rajya Sabha. Now there are few things a person can be disqualified for. First, having office of profit. That means a person cannot earn from the government of India or any state government or any local authority. The person cannot get money from that of any other place. For example, a person cannot be working in army and then having a seat in Rajya Sabha. It's not possible. If the person gets elected, then the person has to leave their job over there and then become a person of Rajya Sabha. Now, the person cannot be of unsound mind. That means the person cannot be mad in a way and should be capable enough to know what to do where, how to manage the affairs which are there. Third, undischarged insolvent. This means the person cannot have any debt which was not cleared upon. You cannot have any debt and become a member of Rajya Sabha. Fourth, not a citizen of a foreign state. As we said, a person has to be citizen of India. You cannot be a member of some other country and then you decide something what will be done for that of India. This is not only for the elected members, it is also for the nominated members. The nominated members of India should also fulfill all these qualifications. We know they are elected by that, nominated by that of President of India, but they have to have all these qualifications. So for the election of Rajya Sabha, we don't have a direct one, we have an indirect one. Over here, the members of state legislative assemblies, the MLAs, are the ones who cast the vote to decide who will become the member of Rajya Sabha. Before that, when the person is giving the nomination, the person has to have support of 10 MLAs. Now, those 10 MLAs have to be of the same state. When the person is supporting candidate A, that MLA cannot go and support again candidate B. So, a person can give support to only one person. Now, of the 10, there are few states which might not have so many people. For them, the minimum it's calculated upon how many MLAs they have. The election which is done, the counting which is done, it is done under the proportional representation, that is a single transferable vote. It's a very long process. In this, all the four candidates are chosen upon, the order of their preferences is given, and then the counting is done. For the nomination, there are 12 people who are nominated. Now, the term of Rajya Sabha, we know it's a permanent house and it can never ever be dissolved. So, what happens is after every 2 years, one third of the members will be changing. So, each member will be there for 6 years, but after every 2 years, we'll be seeing the elections being done to have a continuous working house. Now, the total number of members in rotation one third, one third, one third. So, 83 members nearly every 2 years will be changing. So, the elections are done every 2 years, and we see nearly 83 members changing upon every year. Yeah, there can be a few empty seats, as in because of death or someone resigned, or mid session, we see that they have become someone who is not qualified enough to be a member of Rajya Sabha, they are disqualified. So those vacancies are also seen upon when we do the elections. So Rajya Sabha will have a presiding officer. Presiding officer is like that of Lok Sabha we had speaker. The same way our vice president will be what? Presiding over all the issues which are being held, I mean the sittings which are being held in the office. But important thing is that Vice President is not a part of Rajya Sabha. He is an ex officio chairman. He'll not be a part. So the deputy chairman will be there. That person will be a member of Rajya Sabha. And this is elected upon the members. Like the people together will be deciding who will become the deputy chairman, and the person will be holding the sittings when there is the absence of chairman, that is our vice president. The constitution has Article 64, which states the Vice President of India shall be the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. He presides over all the meetings in the House. He maintains the decorum. Also, when there's any discussion which is being held and there's a stalemate, like there's a similar number of yes and no, that time is the only time when he can give his own vote. He will be deciding upon the rules and regulations and will keep everything in order. He has the final say in what happens in the Rajya Sabha. For example, during a sitting, should that sitting be adjourned or it should be suspended, it will be totally upon our ex officio chairman to decide. He can also say, like, this XYZ person has said or disregarded the authority of the chair, and that person can be expelled onto the word of the ex officio chairman. He decides upon the motion, questions, and amendments. He also decides whether the conduct is being done in a fair and orderly and impartial manner or not. So, being the presiding officer of Rajya Sabha, Vice President is not a member of Rajya Sabha. So, when there's a joint sitting, do you think that he'll be there or do you think he will not? Let's see what you say in the comments. There are few powers and functions of Union Parliament. Now, if you remember, Parliament of India consists of what? Our President, Rajya Sabha members, and the Lok Sabha. They will be having a few important powers. Now, let's see what these powers are. Overall, there are six kind of powers: legislative, financial, judicial, electoral powers, amendment of constitution, and control over executive. Now, the first is legislative powers. Legislative powers is what the parliament has the power to make laws for the whole country. The union lists, the concurrent lists, these are the ones under which it can have powers to make new laws. And these new laws can be made or they can be amending the existing laws which are there. Or they can also repeal or cancel a few laws which are not needed right now. No bill can become a law until it's passed by both the houses and also has to get the president's sign. So it is a very important part, like making laws. You are doing something wrong and you'll be punished in what way? All these things are what done by that of the legislative powers of the Union Parliament. The second is the financial power. Now we have discussed upon the union budget and also the taxes which are being discussed upon. Appropriation bill, finance bill, money bill. We know all these bills have been discussed earlier. So the power of these revenue and expenditure of the government, where the money will go, in what way, how much proportion of the money will go to which state or which part of the government body, that is all discussed upon in the financial power. Now, the judicial power. For the judicial power, it's not a power which will be having over that of the Supreme Court or High Court. It's a power which is there within the parliament. For example, a person is not doing something good, like a person has misconduct. So, the removal of that person is very important. Those can be done by that of the Union Parliament. Impeachment of the president. If you feel like if the members of the Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha feel that the president of India is not correct, the person has to be impeached. That can be done by them. Also, they have a power to remove the Supreme Court and High Court judges only and only if they provide the proof of their misbehavior or incapacity. If Union Parliament comes upon discussing what will happen in our courts, then the judicial system will not be that powerful. So, to remove someone from that of High Court or Supreme Court, the people of Union Parliament have to provide proper grounds of misconduct or incapacity. They have to prove it up. Now, for the electoral powers, the Parliament has the power to make laws related to the election. They can also lay down the qualifications which are there. Like we were discussing, a person has to have certain qualifications as per that of the Parliament of India. Now, these are what the electoral powers which are there. Can they they can also define the constituencies and the reservation of seats. Also, empower the election commission to conduct free and fair election. The fifth, amendment of constitution. The power to amend the constitution lays with that and only that with the parliament. They can add, remove, modify any part of the constitution, but it has to be amended with majorities from that of the house. A majority is not coming from certain house, it cannot pass. So it has to be a electoral power of the joint power of both the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and also that has to be signed by that of President of India to amend the constitution. They can add, remove, or modify any part. Now, control over executive. Now, what is the executive? Executive is what? The Council of Ministers. The Council of Ministers are collectively responsible for Lok Sabha. And if there is a no confidence motion which is being passed, then the whole government of Lok Sabha will collapse. The Parliament can discuss upon the government policy, seek information through questions, and criticize the government's actions. All these powers are there with that of the Union Parliament. Now, when we say of powers, both the house have their own kind of powers, and there are few exclusive powers both of them have. First, Rajya Sabha, being a continuous house, the permanent house, they have a higher power, higher authority over that of Lok Sabha. They can become a part of the election and removal of Vice President of India. See, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, both of them have the power to elect. But during the removal, Rajya Sabha is the only one who has the power. Being the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha, the vice president can be removed by that of the Rajya Sabha members only. Since they represent the states and also the union territories, the three union territories, they have a national level safeguard towards the federal character of the country. Also, they have the authority to make laws on the state list. We have three type of lists: the union, state, and concurrent. Out of those three, the state list is the one which the Lok Sabha cannot do any changes upon. The state list changes which are there can only be done by Rajya Sabha. Also, there is one more power, that is under Article 312. Rajya Sabha holds the exclusive power to initiate and authorize the creation of the all new the all Indian services, the new all Indian services such as IS, IPS, new judicial services. All these kind of things can only be added by that of Rajya Sabha. For Lok Sabha, they also have few exclusive powers. First being that of money bill and demand for grants. Now, something related to money and the money which is being collected from that of the whole country, the power can only stay with that of Lok Sabha. They discuss upon the money bill and the grants. No confidence motion. Since Rajya Sabha is a permanent house, there can never be a no confidence motion. The only place where we'll be having the no confidence motion is with that of Lok Sabha. And Under this, the Council of Ministers have to resign. Now, the Council of Ministers is responsible, collectively responsible for the Lok Sabha. Now, if they do something which is not wrong and the no confidence motion comes in, they have to dissolve, and with that, the whole Lok Sabha will be dissolved. Now, removal of vice president, if that power is that with Rajya Sabha, the impeachment, the only way the president of India can be removed, the name is impeachment, and that can only be initiated by that of Lok Sabha. A Rajya Sabha can never initiate this. Only a Lok Sabha can have the power to initiate it. Okay, so these are a few practice questions which are there. There are 10 MCQs. I want you to answer all of them in our comment section. I want to see you commenting. I want to see you active, and I'll be discussing the answers of them in the next class. So, thank you for being there. Also, be confident. If you feel you are missing out on something, you want to understand that, just comment it in the comment section. I'll go through it in the next one. And do like, subscribe, and share with your friends and family. And all the best for your exams in future.